Good morning, guys and girls. I wasn't planning on a video today. I went over to the range, or I am at the range right now, doing some shooting with my heavy chunk gun. And I discovered something. I'm going to pass it on about your spotter and your dots. And I'll give you a little synopsis of what I've done here, and you'll kind of figure it out. I started out, it's a very dreary, overcast day. Terrible. And it's pretty early in the day yet. But anyway, I got here and I put my spotter up, and I started out, I put a 2-inch, it was 2-inch, 2 1/4 inch dot up. Well, I went back to the gun, got in behind it, and thought, oh, well, that's way, way, way too big, which is kind of odd on an overcast day. So I went out and I put up a 2-inch. Go back to the gun, still too big. So finally, I had my cutter with me. I made an 1 7/8" dot, put it up, and that looked pretty good. So what you're seeing here is there's 10 shots there, 8 of them in that big hole and those 2 flyers. But here's the story on the flyers. The first flyer, the one on the bottom right, I shot it and I thought, what the hell? Just suddenly it's out of the group. So it must be me or something like that. So I go back and I load up another one, and you see it on the upper left. And God dang, something's going wrong here. Well, I go back and I get in behind the gun again, and I get to looking, and hell, I'm seeing way too much white. What's happened, as bad as the light appeared to me, the light's actually pretty good. And so what I was seeing was a way, way too much white on that dot. And now, guys, we're at 1 7/8". So I go back, I make me an 1 3/4 dot. I put it up. That's the dot you see right now. My next 3 shots went right through that hole, the big hole. This is something that I've been hard-headed about. And one of the big guys in the game told me one time, he said, you got to start small and go up, not up big and go down. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. You should put up the smallest spotter you got, the smallest dot, and look at it. You can always come up if you can't see it, but you can't, when in the middle of a shoot, you don't want to be doing that. So that's the story. Keep an eye on your dot. And when I first put that 1 3/4 dot up, I got behind the gun. I thought, hell, I can't see that. But I sat there and I studied it. And a little bit, it appeared. What's doing is your eyes take a moment to readjust to everything, the sights, the light and everything. If you sit there long enough and study it, you'll see it pop. And that was the term that Tom told me. He said, you will see it pop. And that's what happened here. So if I hadn't have screwed that dot up in the beginning or paid more attention to it, those 2 flyers would be in that one hole right there, barring any other kind of dumbass shit on my part. But anyway, that's the story. So pay careful attention to your dots. I talked to a guy last week or maybe 2 weeks ago at a table shoot, and he was shooting poorly, and a friend of mine, and he said, I don't know what's wrong with me today. And I went over and I looked at his spotter. And I said, well, I can tell you exactly what's wrong with it. He said, what? And I said, your spotter's way too big. He had like a 3-inch spotter at 60 or 30 yards. I said, I'm shooting way smaller than that at 60 yards. You should be down around an inch, really, at 30 yards, probably smaller. So that's something you got to pay attention to. And the first time you crawl in behind one of these guns with this pinhead system and you can't see it, don't just stop, think about it for a little bit. It'll come to you. Don't give up on it until you've tried it quite a bit. All right, guys, I'm going to move over to another gun and practice with it a while, but I wanted to share this little bit of stuff with you. I learned a lot today. That group is nothing to write home about, but I learned a lot, and that's the important thing. All right, guys, till the next time.